everybody, it's your girl Jane B, aka the Common Sense Diva, and I'm here to give you another review recap of this week's Insecure season 4 episode 9, low-key Tryin. So this episode, y'all, I need to take my time. I need to articulate my words just right because I got to give it to you the way I saw it, okay? So this episode, y'all, let me tell you, so from last week, you know, it was so refreshing and refilling to me, just everything that went on with Issa and Lawrence, that I was fine either way the season went from here. I was like, okay, I got what I needed. They got their closure. Now we can move on. So I was just open to whatever, you know, the rest of the season had to offer. But honey, lo and behold, when they started, and shout out to Kerry Washington, she directed this episode. Go Kerry, you're doing big things as always. And I'm just gonna get right into the meat and the potatoes, okay? So first we are seeing, so like I was saying, so last week, you know, I was really feeling like, okay, I'm good. So where do we go from here? And when the episode started, and you see Lawrence and Issa on the couch, I was like, are they pulling out legs? Because, you know, they love to start out shows and it'd be like a fantasy, like a daydream. And I was like, Lord, is this going to be a daydream? I was like, I'm not ready. I'm not ready. I don't need this to be a daydream because y'all are teasing us. You teasing me right now. And honey, they were sitting on that couch. Next thing you know, Issa goes over to him. And listen, I just need by a show of hands, how many times did you watch that montage? Y'all, I watched it about 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times. I'm sorry, that montage gave me all of the life that I needed. Honey, Issa crawls over to him. And did you notice that the couch is the focal point? Because that couch has been like an additional character throughout the entire series. And that couch was the focal point. And we saw every type of love represented on that couch in that montage. We saw just the I'm looking at you and I want you. Then we got the we're eating together, and then I want you some more. And then we got I just washed after getting it in, and then I want you again. Then we got the quickie in and I want you again. Then we got the work in and then I want you again. It was just like yes, 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 yes. I was here for every way they wanted to show us on that couch. I was here for every single thing. And then we go into the conversation. So the conversation now we done had sex every kind of way. I'm sure Issa got a key by now. She done took a shower. We saw her with the shower cap. And now we're having a conversation about, so what is this? I was like, really? After all of that, y'all didn't discuss that? I guess at this point, they just taking it easy. They just riding with it. But you know how we do, ladies. Sometimes we be all deep in, knee high, waist high, nose high. And then we like, well, what is this? And he was like, well, what do you want it to be? So she was like, wait, do you still have like vaginas flying over your head somewhere? Like, what's really good? And, you know, it was a lot of chatter about Consola, what's going to happen. And he dropped that bomb real quick. He was like, oh, we had to talk. It's good. We're done. All right, Lawrence. He said, we're not going to prolong this. They had all kind of mic drops this episode, and they just dropped the mic. He said, we are not together. And then they start going on with their little banter, how they do. And next thing you know, Issa's crawling up to him, honey. And he about to unconfuse her. Or she going to unconfuse him. And they got it in again. So I was here for that entire opening montage before the credits. Okay? All right. So then after that, we go into the whole situation with Dr. Robin, who was Dr. Robin was giving me life. It was just her whole presentation, the short hair, the jewelry, the outfit, the yes, I know what I'm talking about look. We love that. Okay, come on, therapist, with the I know what I'm talking about look. And so we see Molly in there, and Molly, Dr. Robin is chilling. You know, she's just sitting back like what they do. And she's listening in. And Molly is just doing all sorts of twitching in the chair. She's flicking that hair. She got a new hairdo. She's giving you all kind of contortions of the face. And Dr. Robin just answering her simple questions. And like, you know, so they're talking about Issa. So she comes in talking about Issa. And all of a sudden, she's like, well, I don't take no blame for it. Like, I don't take any blame. And I'm just like, no, Molly, come on now. And then Dr. Robin just kind of read her in a very professional way. She was like, you know, and she started naming about 4 or 5 guys in her life. She said, this one, this one, this one, this one, and this one. You're the common denominator. I mean, she didn't say it like that, but you know, that's pretty much what she was saying. And she's like, Molly, it's like a thread. This is like a common thread, you know, running through all this. And, you know, it's just like you build up a wall, you shut people down. And then she said something that someone had told me years ago, and I never forgot it. She said, you want to be right, or do you want to be happy? Pretty much like, you right, you standing up for your rights. I'm right, she did me wrong. But in all that rightness, you by yourself, you don't have your best friend, you're not feeling good, you was in crazy relationships because you had to feel right, you about to mess it up with your father, you about to mess it up with Andrew, one of the best things that ever happened to you, or because you just want to take your stance and this, that, and the other. And she just, honey, she read her, and even Molly said, oh, you reading me, Dr. Robin, you reading me? Because she read her. She was just like, listen, what do you want? Do you want to be happy or not? So anyway, honey, so Molly got some work to do. So then after that, now we switch over to Issa. So now Issa's doing some work, and then Nathan texts her, and I guess they confirm that they are now on for Issa to help him move. And of course, I'm sure after all the things that she's dealing with Lawrence, and they're getting back together, and you know, Nathan was a vital part of her life, I guess she's feeling a little bit, you know that feeling when you know, I want to be with my old dude, but this guy turned me on in more than just sex. I mean, he turned me on. He encouraged me to do the block party, and, you know, he was there for me in my corner, and now I'm about to, like, play him, so whatever. So she now is deciding, okay, yes, I'm going to come help you, but now you need the reinforcements. You know how you need your reinforcements to egg you on, either to say go or either to say stop. So she calls Kelly, and Kelly's crazy because she had that message in English and in Spanish. You better go ahead, Kelly. I don't know who's calling you. You in California, you don't know who's gonna be calling you. So anyway, child, Kelly wasn't available. Then she's going down the list of who can I talk to about matters of the heart, these matters here. So then she goes to her brother. He is crazy in there eating that food that looked like it was way too hot. And then the first thing the brother said, he said, Stanley dead? I fell out. That was hilarious. He said, Stanley dead? And then, you know, pretty much he ain't dead. But then after that, Lawrence, Issa says to her brother, so, you know, I'm kind of seeing Lawrence again, and, you know, we're kind of back together. And the brother said, does he know that? Let me tell y'all, I have said that to people too. They be like, especially when you get men who they know they not available, you know, and I'm like, I'm married. Say the guy say he married. And I'll be like, do your wife know you married? You know, it was the same kind of thing that the brother said. The brother was like, does Lawrence know that? Does Lawrence know y'all are back together? I was like, oh, that's shade, but it's true though, because, you know, we build up all these fantasies in our head, and we carrying on, and just because we doing our thing, we think we together. And then he said, does Lawrence know that? I was like, well, that was shady, but that's a very relevant question. Good thing Issa had that conversation, or she would have been, you know, confused. But anyway, child, so then, you know, after the brother, all he was doing was parroting what she was saying. He just said back exactly what she was saying. He was of no help. And then he said, you get what you pay for. And that's so true. You got to pay for Dr. Robin, and then you could get some good answers. So, child, then after that, I guess Issa was at the end of her rope, and then she was like, let me just call Molly. And so she calls Molly, and then she starts going in, and Molly seemed like she was happy to hear from her. And then Issa went straight into, because, you know, I'm seeing Lawrence, and you're the only one I want to talk to about. And Molly was like, see, this is the problem. And I thought it was real until she looked into the camera, and I said, okay, this is fantasy. So then I guess after that, Issa said, okay, I cannot come to her with my old ways. So she calls her, left a message, and the next thing you know, they are meeting up at one of their favorite little spots. So now they meet up, right? Of course, it's awkward, you know, because, I mean, listen, just from the fact that they're even meeting up after the almost coming to blows, that was just good in and of itself. So the fact that they even was still willing to meet up is that, you know, they do have care for each other and they love each other, like I always say. So now, honey, they come in and they're awkward, and, you know, so now they're still skirting around the issues. Nobody's being direct. We're talking about everything but what the real issues are. And, you know, Molly doesn't want to really show emotion. She started to go in about the trip, and then she caught herself and she stopped. And then now Issa's talking, and Issa probably is checking herself too. Like, now I don't want to seem like I'm being selfish. So, you know, she's keeping the conversation very, you know, very on the edge. She's not going in. She's keeping it very on the edge, because she was like, you're not going to accuse me again of being selfish. Okay. So now, with all of those parameters set up, nobody's being real. Nobody's really talking about what's really going on. So of course now, you know, they're just going back and forth, keeping this very surface level, even though they, you know, they chimed in a little bit because she did talk to her about those girls dying and dashing. So, you know, they talked about that, but it was still not the heart, the meat, the crux of the matter of like, why did we get to this point? Why were we at the point of we were almost going to blows? They still haven't dealt with that. So then, of course, now Issa paid for lunch. All right, Issa. I guess she said, you're not gonna call me a user in no way, because I'm gonna pay for lunch too. So Issa paid for lunch, and of course they had that awkward goodbye and then end scene. Okay. So then now Andrew and Molly are together now. So Molly goes back to Andrew after she finishes hanging with Issa, and you know, Andrew's always been that supportive boyfriend, and he's, you know, trying to, you know, say, so how'd it go? And, you know, Andrew's all about, you know, making sure he's encouraging, you know, Molly, because Andrew wants to do the right thing. What I get from Andrew is that he wants Molly to be the best version of herself. Now, Andrew, he turned into Iyanla Vanzant. He's turning into Dr. Phil, because it always seems like he's in this position of now fixing her life pretty much. So now he's, you know, going back and forth with her and this, that, and the other. And then he was like, well, listen, Victor's in town, and you know, he got tickets, I guess, to the Clippers game. Was it the Clippers? Yeah, he got tickets to the Clippers game. And Molly, again, just like Dr. Roberts said, she's putting up the wall. She is not willing to meet anybody halfway, even though Andrew already told her, I talked to my brother, we worked it out. Molly's like, no, you know, she's on that. So Molly don't want nothing to do with him. Molly was like, no, you go ahead and go. And you could just see the letdown in Andrew's face, because Andrew's really on some, but I really want you there. And sometimes when you're in your own way, you don't even understand that somebody wants your presence. Do you know how many people would love somebody to want their presence, Molly? Like, people want somebody, their man, to be like, no, I want you to be there. Where sometimes your man could be going off doing his thing and not thinking about you. So Molly's still not seeing it. She's still not getting the big picture. She's still not understanding this man really wants to be here. He really wants to bring you around, but you're not. You're just so in your own head. You don't want to be happy. You just want to be right. And now see, I'm getting all into it. And now look where you are. Okay, so now she doesn't go. She's like, oh, just make it a boys' night. Okay, he gonna make it a boys' night, all right, with Susie. But anyway, so she was like, all right. So they went. You know what? She went off, and you know, that was it. End scene. So now we see assistant executive assistant, aka intern Koya, is back. So now we see that Issa is planning her next event. She's not even sure what she's doing it, but she's doing it by faith. She's securing some people. She doesn't even know when, where, how, why, nothing. But she's worked. See, that's faith, y'all. That's acting in faith. You know, acting like it is, even if it is not. That's what faith is, okay? So she's planning her next event, and then Lawrence checks in, okay? Lawrence is in San Fran, and Lawrence is just looking so good. You know, I wasn't feeling his hair before, but now I'm feeling it. Lawrence was looking good. He checked in. He's letting her know the interview went well, and this, that, and the other. And then Issa said, yes, I met Molly. And he was just like, okay, how'd it go? And this, that, and the other. So they were, you know, discussing that. And then he says to Issa, he said, well, maybe you guys just need some space before you could try again. And basically he was saying like us, you know, like we needed space. We needed to, you know, part, and now we're back together and things are good. So even though you and Molly are going through this, maybe what you just need is some time apart, even though you really didn't discuss the issues yet. Sometimes you need to let a situation breathe. You know, you need to let a situation like air out, breathe, and then revisit it. I think right now is a little too soon for Issa and Molly to be revisiting the whole blow up, because they need to wait until the emotions are gone from the situation where they can approach it just like Lawrence and Issa was able to do. So then after that, child, now Issa is going over to Nathan to help him unpack. Now listen, y'all. Okay, so you know Issa's awkward. She coming up in there awkward, trying to figure out. I've done that before. Like, okay, so how am I gonna say hi? I've done that. I've done the speech before the speech. Like, you figuring out, what am I gonna say? How am I gonna say it? So Issa's trying to figure out what she's gonna say when she see Nathan, right? Child, and then Nathan opened that door looking good as ever. Oh yes, those light-skinned eyes. Looking good as ever. And he goes to hug Issa, and now she ducking and dodging, because the truth is, in my opinion, just because she's back with Lawrence, that doesn't mean that her feelings have gone away for Nathan. And honey, child, we're gonna get to that in a minute, what I feel about that. And so now she's trying to avoid him. She don't want to come into no real contact. Because listen, if somebody done rang your bells, if somebody done got you on the Ferris wheel, if somebody done got you here, got you there, you remember that, even if you are with, you know, old boy. So, honey, she wanted to avoid him. Honey, she was ducking and dodging. She said, no, 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 you ain't gonna get me no hug, no long embrace. So now she's ducking and she's like, okay, what you need me to do? So he's helping. So anytime Nathan would come up next to Issa, she would run the other way. And that's so obvious. Like, when you're doing all of that, you're clearly saying, if you touch me the wrong way, it may be on and popping. So I guess, you know, she didn't care about being obvious because she just ran the other way. So she runs the other way. And so now, you know, Nathan is telling her, you know, they bought this, they bought the barbershop, and now, you know, so listen, shout me out at your next event. And as he's saying it, he's walking up behind her, and y'all, Nathan, you know how a guy's walking up and you can tell he looked like he biting his lip, and then he giving you the once up and down, and he did that, and I was like, Jesus? Oh God, help me. Because I don't know, y'all. I don't know if Nathan with them light eyes come up behind me with the up and down, with that deep voice leaning in the corner, leading in the cut, talking to me all low and sexy. I don't know what I could do. But see, I ain't Issa. Child, I don't know what I would do. But anyway, so now he's like, you know, I have in my nose, Lord have mercy, when he came up to Issa, because he was low-key flirting with her. So then Issa tells Nathan about Lawrence, and in true guy fashion, he's like, you know, immediately threw him under the bus. He was just like, yeah, he seemed a little messy. Like, y'all really gonna do that? That was shady. And then Issa came right back, and she was like, well, at least he know how to talk and he don't ghost, you know. And then, honey, that's when Nathan dropped the bomb, and he revealed unto Issa, listen, when I left you and I went home, I realized and I was diagnosed with bipolar. Now, I had in my notes to get the meaning of what bipolar is, so just in case if y'all listening and don't know exactly what bipolar is, you can Google it, because I forgot to Google it to let y'all know. But yes, he got bipolar, which is clearly, you know, you got your highs, you got your lows, you got your ups, you got your downs. And then, of course, Issa felt bad, like, ooh, my bad, like, I'm so sorry about that, you know, this, that, and the other. And he was just like, look, I have clarity now, and I know who I want in my life, and you are somebody I want in my life. Now, y'all, that seemed like it would be a little bit of a troublesome situation for me, because I don't know if Nathan and Lawrence could be in my life. I don't know. I'm not sure. So anyway, he wants her in her life, and I'm not sure exactly what that looks like. But what I do know is they were still moving when they went over back to Andrew's house. Okay, and Andrew's apartment is very nice, or home. I like the duplex, the high level, low level, really nice. I really like that a lot. So now Molly, you know, she comes with her takeout, and something Molly did to kind of turn me off a little bit. She was like, Andrew's like, oh, I thought we was getting Indian, and she was like, oh no, I got this. And I'm like, but wait, you didn't even call Andrew and ask him what to bring? Like, I don't know, it's just like, it's almost like you're taking him for granted. Like, okay, yeah, I know I could get this and you'll eat it, you'll be okay with it. Like, but no, he asked for Indian, and you just made a decision. You didn't even call him and say, but babe, listen, remember it wasn't so good, you want something else? No, you just took it upon yourself. See, Andrew keeping score on the down low, you just don't know. So anyway, after that, you know, Andrew is very disappointed that Molly did not come to the game. You know, he's really, you know, upset. And I felt for him. Like, that was really good acting, Andrew, Asian Bay. Because I really felt his emotion. Like, Dad, I wanted you there. Like, can't you just kind of get over it for me? Like, this is my family. Like, how you trying to be with me? We gonna get married, have kids, whatever, and you don't even want my family around. So could you just, like, suck it up? You know, but Molly's just being very, very difficult. Molly, you know, I was rooting for you at one point. Now you acting up, child. So, you know, he really wants to work it out, but Molly just holding those grudges. And then Issa and Nathan come by because they're still moving. They came to get some extra boxes and things and that. And then Andrew, Coach Andrew, he's just like looking at Molly like, okay, you gonna invite them? You know we got extra food or whatever. So Molly's like, okay, you guys can stay. And you could see it wasn't coming from Molly's heart. You could see that this was all Andrew's, you know, encouragement. So she was just like, okay. So she prompted, they stayed for dinner. Everything was going well. Issa and Molly are reminiscing about her old apartment and things of that nature. And then they said, you know, let's play a game. So they played the hype game with celebrities, and everything was going good. And then when Andrew went to go get more, you know, get some more champagne or whatever they were drinking, Molly did something that, guys, listen, we got to get it together with texting and don't know who you texting, because I've done that before. Thank God it wasn't nothing too incriminating. And someone did that to me one time. I gotta tell y'all a story real quick. So this is email. This wasn't a text, but you know, I'm just going through my text messages, and all of a sudden I see this peen. I was like, wait a minute, do I know somebody who's sending me a peen picture? There was no peen in my vicinity at that time. And it was this guy, so you could see his face with the peen, and he was talking all this stuff. And then I was just like, I'm not who you think I am or who you're supposed to send this to. He was so embarrassed. And then after all the exchange, he said, but how did it look? I'm like, sir, please stop. But anyway, so you need to make sure, I make it a point, like now more than ever, when I'm about to send a text, I look to see who I'm sending it to, and then I send it. Because Molly, how you sending a text and you don't know it's going to Issa? And then it wasn't too crazy, but it was crazy enough to get Issa very upset. She was like, see, I'm trying. So anyway, Issa saw that, and Issa was like, you know what? I'm leaving. She gets up and leaves. Everybody trying to figure out what's going on. Molly runs out after her, and then finally they came to some kind of truth bomb. I mean, it may not have been point by point as to what happened, but they just came to a realization, and basically it was Molly. Now, Molly just said to her, you know, wait, let me just go back. Issa, wait, hold on, y'all. Let me read my notes to make sure I'm saying this right the way I really want to say it. So now Issa, you know, Issa let her know, I have been trying to reach out to you. And, you know, Molly was just like, it was so much more than just the block party that we really had to deal with. And then Molly just said to Issa, you know, Issa, this is even bigger than the block party. You know, this goes on more than the block party. And then Molly just drops the truth bomb and says, you know, we're just different, and it's not working because we're just too different now. Like, we're just really in different places now. And that was like real, but then there's still a part of me that feels like, but Molly, are you saying that because you still are not ready to deal with your grudges? And you still have that wall up, and you're not even trying to meet Issa halfway. And then Issa, I'm sure, is feeling, well, I can't say this or that because Molly's gonna think I'm selfish. So now we're kind of stuck in this, like, you know, we're just stuck in the middle of not knowing what to do. And so we're not really hitting the real issues. But then when Molly said to her, you know, we're just different now. We're just going different places. That's why I definitely think that this relationship needs to breathe. I think this relationship needs to just chill for a while. Everybody go in their corner, go in their respective places, and do your own thing. And maybe revisit this once things calm down. You know, so that's all I got, y'all. That is what the episode was this week. It was a very, very good episode. They squoze a lot into this 30 minutes. I was able, again, to get my life the whole show. It was very, very good. Yeah, y'all know who I am, right? I'm J&B. I'm the Common Sense Diva. If you like this content, please be sure to subscribe and let me know that you like what I'm doing by leaving a comment. You could also leave a thumbs up, hit the notification bell, and as always, until the next time, and make sure that you buy black whenever you can, okay? Until the next time, bye.